Welcome to the Good Days Academy podcast. I'm Maria, a virtual assistant, project manager, and social media manager, here to help you launch and scale that VA business you've been dreaming to have. If you're ready for expert advice on virtual assistant services, marketing, productivity, and work-life balance, you are in the right place. Let's create brighter days together, one episode at a time. Hola, amigas. Welcome back to the Good Days Academy podcast. Today, we're going to talk about my favorite tips to stay productive working from home. So we all know that working from home is the dream. That's exactly what we all want to do. And hopefully that's what you're going to start doing or you're already doing at this point. But let's be real. I don't want to necessarily say that, oh my God, it's so hard. It's harder than what it looks. But I do think that it has its little science behind it. Now, that also sounds too dramatic, but you do have to keep in mind that you need to have a very good structure for you to be successful and productive. So these are the 10 things that I do that I feel had helped me so much. Tip number 1, create a dedicated workspace. And I know this is not something possible for all of us. Like me, for example, I used to live in a very small apartment. So I didn't have the option to have an office or even like a den for me to have my desk and only do my work there. But I did have my little creativity corner, how I like to call it. So it was basically in my own room because it was an apartment with only one room. And I had in the corner of my room my desk. And I made sure that it was a comfortable desk. And I had also, very important, a comfortable chair because you're going to spend quite some time in there. So you have to be sure that it's going to be good for your back. Trust me, girl. The chair is very, very important. And it doesn't have to be the most expensive thing in the world, but it's worth the investment. Same with the desk. I had a standing desk, which I completely, absolutely love. And again, it's completely worth the investment. It wasn't that expensive. It was about $200 on Amazon. So I'll leave the link of all the things that I've used so far for my desk in the show notes. Also, I think it's very important to make sure that whatever we have on our desk, even if it's just a desk, how I have it, it has to inspire us. I love making sure that my space keeps me motivated, that I have maybe a picture that it's important to me, or in my case, I love having crystals. So I went to this crystal store and I got crystals that are all about creativity and keep me calm and, like kind of like allows me and helps me to maintain strength and keeps me focused for me in order to do my work better and keep me motivated. I'm not saying that you should do this, but I completely love getting stuff for decoration at Urban Outfitters. That's one of my favorite stores to get pretty things for my desk. But yeah, definitely not something you need to do. I'm just telling you where I get things from that keep me motivated. So yeah, just add something inspiring and like your vision board or a plant or a candle and just make it a space that you actually want to stay because you're going to be there for a long time. Tip number 2, set daily goals. And I'm not saying that you need to go crazy on this. 3, I feel like it's the perfect number. Also, you are probably going to have a lot more things to do that day. Absolutely. Some days, maybe not. Some days, even going to be just one thing or 2 things. But I feel like the limit should be 3 because more than that, it just gets too overwhelming. So again, as I said before, even if you have 3 priorities, you are probably going to have other things that you need to get done that day. But the priorities are the priorities, right? Like you're going to do whatever it takes for you to finish those 3 things. Also, make sure that it's realistic. So if you have 3 huge things to finish, they don't need to get done the same day because that's not fair to you. And that's not fair for the tasks, if that makes sense as well, because you're not going to be able to spend the same time and the same quality on each one of them. So I would recommend if you have 3 big things to finish on one week, maybe you focus on one each day. But yeah, basically just make sure that those 3 priorities are the things that you know that you're gonna get done on that day, but those are not things that are not impossible to finish. I love keeping track of my priorities and my to-do list using my digital planners, of course. So I create my digital planners. I love my iPad and using my iPad for productivity. And I'm gonna link my digital planner here in the show notes. So if you wanna take a look, I'll leave it over there. I also love using Google Calendar. That's actually, I'm going to say that that's my favorite tool to use, especially for time blocking. And then the third thing that I love using is Notion. So my whole productivity and kind of like goals and tasks strategy goes around those three tools: Notion, Google Calendar, and my digital planner. Tip number 3 that goes hand in hand with what I just mentioned is master time blocking. Time blocking changed my mind, especially because I need to have a structure. I need someone or something to tell me exactly what I need to be doing because I get distracted very easily. And working from home, girl, the couch is gonna call you. It's gonna call your name and it's gonna be like, hey, let's get cozy and watch a movie. Your bed as well, especially if you have your desk in your room. Oh my God, that's gonna be a huge, not problem, but you are just going to be so drawn to wanting to be in your bed and be cozy, especially if it's getting cold. So, time blocking, mwah, it's my best friend. And Google Calendar for this, you can use whatever calendar and whatever strategy you like, but Google Calendar is just perfect for me to plan my day in chunks and allocating that time for focus work and admin tasks and breaks and even like other things that I want to do, and separate my 9 to 5 to my business and color coding because it allows me to customize it so easily and so pretty. So I'm going to leave a few posts that I've done about how you can do this thing on your own in the show notes so you can watch those tutorials and do it yourself. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated, really. I like having different colors depending on the type of task that I need to do. So in my case, I do things like content creation, editing for, content, like content calendars for clients, social media posts, as well as podcasts. I also have to record podcasts. I also have to do a lot of admin tasks for myself and for my business. And I also have to do all my things related to my 9 to 5. So time blocking allows me to stay productive, to stay organized, and to make sure that I'm not missing any deadline. And I love having a different color for each thing because every time that I open my Google Calendar and I kind of see the colors that I have, I know how heavy my week is going to be or not in certain tasks that I already have planned out. And I do this every Sunday or Monday morning. Every Sunday, I just like open my Google Calendar and I try to organize my week. If for some reason I don't do it on Sunday, I do it on Monday morning and I try to make it something fun, I make a coffee, I light a candle, I make me something yummy for breakfast, and I just do it while I'm organizing my week. And it's just fun to me. Also, it looks so pretty at the end. I'm actually motivated to see my Google Calendar with a bunch of colors. Tip number 4, take breaks strategically. Girl, you need to take multiple breaks. It's not even like, yeah, my lunch break. Absolutely not. I discovered that to me, it doesn't work being more than 45 minutes in my chair because my brain is just gonna fry. So I actually found a couple years ago a podcast about focus sprints. I found this podcast episode on the Headspace podcast that I'm also going to link in the show notes. It was the most helpful thing that I found a couple years ago, and I've been doing it since then. And it's basically this simple thing of setting the alarm for 45 minutes. You can do it also for 30, 45, 1 hour maximum, I'll say. I think more than 1 hour is just insane. And then you work, you do whatever it is that you need to do up until the alarm goes off. When that happens, you stop. No matter what, it doesn't matter if you haven't finished. You stop and you take a break. It can be a 5, 10, 15-minute break. But try to make the break not about screens. So this one is a little challenging to me. And I try not to always make it about going on social media, but yeah, I go for a walk or I make breakfast or I make coffee or a cup of tea, or I call someone maybe. I just try to distract myself, even if it's just like you sitting and staring at the sky. But it's just like try to clear your mind and take a real break. And it's not a break to answer emails or anything like that. No, it's a real break. There is also the Pomodoro technique, which is 25 minutes of work and then 5-minute break. You can try this one. I personally haven't tried that one because I feel like it will be too distracting to me to be stopping every 25 minutes because I feel like it's like a very short period of time. But there are so many techniques out there that you can try. And yeah, you can either try the Pomodoro technique or the focus sprint that I just talked about. Tip number 5, eliminate distractions. And I know this is kind of hard, but once you do it, it's so helpful. And it's like such a small thing that you do, and it's gonna make a huge difference if you haven't done that already. So to me, it was turning off my notifications. That's not even an option. Honestly, girl, my phone is always on silence mode. I have no notifications for anything, not even my email, because I have my time blocks already on my calendar. So for when I need to check my email, that's in my calendar. When I need to do my admin tasks, that's in my calendar. Because if I'm finishing something important, I don't want my email notification distracting me, because then the thing that I knew that I was going to be able to finish in an hour, now I'm going to finish it in 1 hour and 30 minutes probably. And that's just going to move my whole calendar. And that's not okay. So I just rather setting time for checking my emails. Also, nobody's going to die if you don't respond to an email immediately. And that's also a good practice for you to do with your clients. You don't need to answer to them immediately. I also know that there are some apps that will help you stay focused. I've never used them. If you use them, let me know because I would like to try them out. Tip number 6, set boundaries with your time. Very important. You have to communicate with people at your work, family, and friends what your work hours are, or what your availability hours are, because I feel like we as a society need to understand that not everyone needs to be available all the time. So for me, for example, in my block times as scheduled on my calendar, I even have time to socialize. And you're gonna think, are you crazy? That's kind of boring and lame. And maybe it is. Maybe it's like too controlling, or maybe not, because I'm also leaving some time for freedom and just like to allow things to happen. Like during the weekends, I don't have anything scheduled on a weekend, but on weekdays, I do. And I do have like a day of my week and a few hours of that day that I can spend to maybe go grab a coffee, maybe watch a movie, or maybe go to a restaurant with my friends or my husband or my family. But I do this because I want to make sure that that I'm being intentional with my time. And as I said before, that I'm not forgetting any deadline. So yeah, basically creating off limits times for calls or meetings are essential. Tip number 7, and this one is a little complicated to me. And I'm really going to try to work on this next year because it's something that I want to focus more on because I know it's important. It's dress for success. So me, for example, right now, I'm very comfortable. I'm not even wearing makeup. And I'm not saying that you have to wear makeup every single day of your life. But me personally, I do feel different when I dress up, you know? I feel like I show up different to the world and to people and to my clients and to my family when I'm dressing up. Again, it doesn't mean that I have to wear makeup every single day or you have to wear makeup every single day. But I do want to find ways to look good, to feel good, and to find easy ways to do it, right? Because I don't want to make my life complicated. Also, the things you wear, that's very important. I try not to be wearing PJs all day. If you're someone who likes that, girl, that's okay. But me personally, it affects my mental health. If I want to be comfortable, I use comfortable clothes, but PJs are not an option anymore, unfortunately. And again, if it's something you like doing, that's totally fine. But based on my experience and also like comments from other friends and colleagues, It definitely makes a difference when you dress up for work, even if you work from home. Tip number 8, and this was something I was doing for a while. I'm not doing it right now, but my situation is a little different because I'm living with family. But it's meal prep for your week. This saves so much time, and just like the fact that you don't have to think about what to eat, what to have for lunch, it is so helpful. So if this is something you can do just to avoid the decision fatigue, as I said, with prepped lunches, girl, go for it. And you're gonna have fun also because maybe you're gonna learn new recipes or a new skill while doing that. So try it out and let me know if you like it. Tip number 9, it's celebrate small wins. Yeah, just reward yourself for completing tasks and for staying motivated. Or maybe even if you're not motivated, it's like you've done it up to this point. So, for example, if one day you finished all the 3 parties that you had to finish, girl, reward yourself. I don't know how. It could be anything very simple. I don't know if it's like maybe watch your favorite show or maybe go get an ice cream. I don't know. But make sure that you are celebrating your wins. And also, if for some reason you haven't been able to finish your parties or you're not as focused as you would like to be, don't be hard on yourself. Allow yourself to be foggy sometimes and to not be able to finish whatever it was that you didn't finish because we get tired and that's okay. Tomorrow is going to be a different day. Next week is going to be a different week. You'll be okay. And whatever state you are at that point is not going to be forever. And tip number 10 is reflect and reset. So make sure you spend 5 minutes at the end of your day reviewing what you worked and planning for the next day. This is super important. And it doesn't, as I said, it can be just 5 minutes because you already planned your whole week. So just 5 minutes making sure like, okay, is it realistic the day that I planned for tomorrow? How do I feel about today? Maybe do I need some time off tomorrow? Maybe do I want to take the whole day off tomorrow? Just review it and make sure that you're being kind to yourself because if you want to be successful, you have to put yourself first. And that's everything, amiga. Those are the 10 productivity hacks that I have to make your work from home life a bit easier and better. Remember, staying productive is all about balance. Give yourself grace on tough days and celebrate the little wins that keep you moving forward. Also, if you already have set up your beautiful, pretty work from home space, I would love to see it. So post it on Instagram and tag me because I want to share it on my stories as well. Oh my God, maybe we make this like a carousel, like Good Days Cozy Setups or something like that. If you have a better name, please let me know. Keep shining. Ciao. Thanks for listening to the Good Days Academy podcast. If today's episode gave you the tools you need to grow your virtual assistant business, subscribe, leave a review, and share with others. If you need more resources, visit my Etsy shop for templates and tools, and follow me on Instagram at gooddays_VA for daily tips on entrepreneurship, marketing, and virtual assistants.